Fall is the perfect time to plant. Planting shrubs, planting trees, planting perennials. It is also the absolute perfect time to divide your perennials. So join me today. We're going to divide some perennials and double the amount of plants we have in our garden. Welcome to Joy in the Garden. This yarrow here was so beautiful in the first part of the season. I loved it. Next to the wee white hydrangeas, it was this beautiful, soft yellow. It is the Millie Rock Terracotta yellow variety. However, it really crowded the lady's mantle in front of it. The ruby smooth hydrangea in the back of it didn't even see the light of day until at least halfway through the season. Now, really, this was a mistake on my part. I actually put this in a year ago in the fall, and they were pretty big plants, and I kind of shoved them right next to each other, and I thought to myself, you're going to need to divide those, and sure enough, here I am. Now, the plant here on the end seems to be the largest, so I will definitely just at least cut that in half, and that's where I will start. I'm going to remove this ruby hydrangea, take this middle plant, hopefully divide it in half, move it back a little bit back there so that it'll be more like plant, 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 just to give everything a little more room. The first thing I'm going to do is remove this ruby hydrangea. Now, this should not be too hard to do because I just planted this in the fall. So it's only been in here a year. And there, I dug this up with as much dirt around her as possible. And I'm going to place her aside, but I'm going to transplant her in the next 30 minutes. So you want to try to keep as much dirt on the plant as possible for something like a hydrangea. I'm going to start by digging this middle plant out here. I think that'll tell me a little better how much room I have. So I'm just using a shovel like this. I'm going to pull out my little handy dandy label while I do this here. Okay. And then wow, that was pretty easy. Okay. So there's one plant. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the second one. Now I tell you, I'm going to try to see, this is pretty big. I don't know if I can go just right down the middle of it. I don't know if this is a good plant for that. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to dig it up, divide it, and then place them back in. Wow, that came up really easy. Although we've been dry, look at that. Excellent. So, okay, before I dig up the third one, I'm going to take a look at these two plants here. Oh, there's the tag. See what a pretty yellow that is? Okay, now this plant is definitely bigger than this one, and that's probably because this one was in the middle. So I can almost look at this. Gosh, I can really see. I'm going to try to show you. There's so many different places I could cut, but I can cut just right here. So I'm going to take, actually I'm taking my scissors. I know it's a little weird, and I'm just going to kind of cut through this. And there we go. That was very, very easy. Now, this little guy, he kind of came, but that's okay. When I plant him, I'm just going to go like that. So I have one. Now, I could make this into two, but I think I'm going to keep it one and put that back where this started, a little closer to the tree. Now, I have this guy. Now, this one here is bigger, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to try to get 3 out of this one. And I definitely have my baby shovel for this. I love this baby shovel. This is a DeWitt. It's just very strong. Okay. And I'm going to try to go straight down it. So just to kind of show you, here's where I am, right there. Okay. Easy down there. Okay. Now, I don't know. I think I'm going to try the scissors. It's a little hard to do backwards, but for me, it's easier to actually get in here with the scissors because you can cut things easier. I am really happy and surprised at how, so just so you can see, I'm just slowly cutting that open in there. There we go. There we go. There we go. Looks great. So put these aside over here. And now let's go get our third one. Now I'm going to save all this soil here because I may need it. I had it once, so I may need it. Soil is precious. This is good soil. Very precious. Now let's dig this third one up. So I already know this is going to be easy because the other two were very easy. This garden bed here is a really, really healthy garden bed. So it has really great soil in it. Try to make sure I don't step in any of the other holes I created. There we go. There she goes. Looking beautiful. Okay, so number 3 here. I didn't even need my gloves. I thought it would get much dirtier than this. Okay, I think this one's going to be really, really easy. I can just go right down there. I wasn't sure if maybe one of them I would be able to get 3 from. I think I could have, but I'll cut that. I'm going to take my cutter guy. This one almost has a natural center. You go with you. And there we go. So we have 6 plants now, and I'm going to put 3 of them back in there, and then I will find a new spot for the other 3. Look at the leaves. Just beautiful leaves. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so 2 of the holes where I removed the yarrow right over here and right over here are the same holes I'm going to replace the divided yarrow. But the other one was right here in the middle, and I'm going to move it back further. And again, I'm just trying to create a little more space. Now, here is where the ruby geranium was. So I'm going to use this dirt to fill in that hole. Kind of break that up a little bit. Okay, now let's see if I need to go any deeper. So let's see. Put you in the middle. Might need to be a little bit deeper there. There. Put you in the middle. That's better. And put you over here and you over here. Okay, perfect. So now, before I put the plants in, I'm going to put some Biotone starter. This is starter plant food for when you transplant or you're planting anything new. It really helps the plant to have some early on nutrients to get the roots growing. Then I'm going to fill the hole with some water. Not a ton, just let it get moisture in there. And now I am going to just take this plant here and make sure the roots are in there. Okay, I'm going to take some of this extra soil here that I've gathered and make sure the soil kind of comes to the top there. Okay, there's my first one. I try to use as much of my own natural soil as possible. In a lot of my garden beds, I have a ton of clay. So let's put this last plant in here. Add some soil around it. Try to steal my soil from earlier. And there we go. Now I need to water these in really good. So now I just need to make sure I really soak this. We are going to have, I think, 70s today, 70s tomorrow, but then we're going to get into the 90s for I think about 3 days. So I'm going to need to keep watering these probably every day for at least a week because we're getting in the 90s. I usually, when I transplant, I do baby them as far as watering them, because that's the silliest thing for a plant to die, right? It's just because you didn't water them after you transplanted them. And the ruby hydrangea, I am actually going to move over to this new entrance area. This is an area, I did the edging last fall, I think. Put cardboard, compost, mulch on it all in spring just to kind of help prepare the bed, because this is not as good a soil as where we just were. So there's definitely clay in there, but I have added quite a bit of compost on the top here. So over time, it'll be good. So this is where I'm going to plant the ruby. So the ruby hydrangea has been planted. This smooth hydrangea will get about 2 to 3 feet wide, and it can get about 3 to 4 feet tall. So we'll see. I think I will put something right in the front of her later this fall, just to give it some edging. So here's our sweet autumn clematis, just starting to bloom. And as we go over here, we have 3 more plants to put in the ground that we divided. So we went from 3 to 6 of these beautiful yarrow. Let's get them done. I'm going to put it in this garden bed over here. So I'm really going to have to stay after it because we're going to get some hot days here. So I'll have to come out early and keep them watered. And here is where I planted the 3 plants. So you can see the one here in front is a lot smaller, but it'll do fine. And that one is a lot larger, but these will all kind of blend together as one. Now, when I plant a perennial that I know is going to be stressed within the next week or so, I will typically come in here, kind of gather this all up and cut these leaves off, because I want all of the energy to go to the new roots, not to maintaining these leaves. Now, I'm not going to really worry about it in the place where this yarrow was originally planted, because that gets a half a day of shade. But this gets full sun all day long, and we're getting to 90, 95 within the next few days. So I'm going to decrease their stress. And there we go. All the leaves cut off. Doesn't look that great, but that's okay because we're focused on what it looks like the next gardening season. This beautiful yarrow is all tucked in, ready to produce some great blooms next season. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a magnificent day.